Hello and welcome to the second video in the Concurrent Teaching video series. In this video, we're going to talk about dual monitors, how to get them set up so that you can properly navigate and keep track of your students on Zoom while also having your instructional materials up at the same time. To do this, we need to change our screens over to extended display, and that way we're able to see different things on different monitors. So for example, your extra monitor will be one screen, your primary monitor for your desktop will be another, and your projector will be a third screen. Let's go ahead and take a look at how to change those settings. The first way is to hold down the Windows key and press the P button. When you do this, it'll open up a sidebar on the right hand side like you see here that gives you some really basic options for how to switch between duplicate or extend screen or just have it on PC screen only. Now we want to go to extend, and that way it turns all of our screens into one single canvas and we're able to scroll between or see different things on each screen. Now, that setting is very limited and it doesn't allow me to arrange my screens in a way that makes the best sense for me. So I'm going to go into the more advanced settings by clicking on this Windows Start button. I'm going to click on the gear for settings, and then we're going to go into the system, and you see display is in there, so make sure we're in the display tab. We're going to scroll down to the bottom, make sure that you've got extended display on. And then we can come up here and we can arrange our desktop in the display in the way that we want to. So you can imagine that this desktop or this display right now is one giant canvas where everything can scroll from side to side and go between those different monitors. If I want to know which monitor is which, I can hit this identify button and you'll see a big number shows up here in the bottom corner, and it did in my other screens as well. Now, since things scroll across this screen as one big canvas, I want to make sure they're in the right order. So what I might do is grab the order, and maybe this one is actually on the right hand side. I want to make sure that when I scroll to the right, it goes to my screen 2 instead of to my screen 3, because that's what makes more sense for me. Or it could be vice versa. You can also put them above and below. For most cases, I like the side to side, so it's easy to scroll side to side to get to the things that I want. I'm going to line those up in the way that makes most sense for me, and then I'm going to hit apply. And once I'm done with that, now I'm able to close this menu, and my mouse should be able to scroll from side to side. I should be able to grab windows and drag them left to right, and move them to the screens that I need them to be on so that I can see multiple things at the same time, and it works as one giant canvas instead of the same thing just duplicated multiple times. Next, we also want to set up in Zoom. So Zoom has a dual monitor setting, and this is really great for being able to see both your learning materials on your shared screen and the gallery view, so you're able to see student webcam views no matter what you have on your normal screen or your primary screen. So to do this, we're going to go up to this little gear. Now before I do that, actually, I wanted to make sure if your Zoom does not look like this, where it's a white screen, you may need to get an update, and you can contact the tech department for that, or you can go to Google and you may be able to update your Zoom on your own. But you're going to click on this little gear, and then in the general setting, you're going to click on this Use Dual Monitors tab, and when we click on the little question mark, it says, it kind of gives us a description. So show participants videos and the shared screen content on separate screens. This is fantastic because we can share our screen with our learning materials, and we're also able to see those students. So we want to make sure that that's checked. We can close this down, and then when we start our next meeting, it will start it with that setting. If you'd like to use your second monitor with your Chromebook, you can do that as well. Once you get them plugged in, you'll be able to hit Control and that little rectangle button, and that will allow you to switch between duplicate and extended screens. You can also go into the settings by clicking on time, going to the settings gear, hitting display in the device menu, and then you can adjust your settings from there. There may be some limitations in the settings on your Chromebook, but they should look similar to the Windows settings that we adjusted earlier. One other thing to note is that the Zoom settings on Chromebooks are very limited, so you may not be able to do dual monitors with your Chromebook in the Zoom settings. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to email Aaron Tommen at aaron_tommen@sumnersd.org.